morning, everyone. The people that hasn't dropped their names and where they're from in the chat, please do so. We have an exciting new morning this morning. I've got one of our panel attorneys. This is the first time that we're doing this, and this is the first of many. Our panel has been growing, and our nation-based footprint is really showing, which is making me super excited. Morning, Madeleine. Always your smile. I love your camera. Agents, you are really welcome to put on your camera. It's not a requirement for lipstick ladies. It's really not a requirement. It's always just nice to see a smile and a face. It makes the training and the talking for us very easy. So that's always nice. Just get Sherry on here as well. And we've got a very awesome new attorney on our panel this morning. Kerry, good morning. Greeting everyone on the ball as always, loving it. I have to say, Kerry from Rustenburg have been with us almost for 4 years already. So she's really part of the family, that branch, and really growing. So that is showing confidence. Kerry, I'm not marketing you. I'm just saying thank you, which I think is important. Each and every agent that's on here, we appreciate your business. And as you grow, that's why we are passionate about it. We grow. And same with our attorneys. Our attorneys, the nationwide footprint is growing, which I think is absolutely amazing. And I'm learning. Being an attorney myself, I always think it's awesome to continue learning and to see how things happen and being dealt with differently. That is always amazing. Sherry, it's so nice to see your face. And look at that smile. Yes, your camera's working. Love it, love it. We don't have anyone here online, I think, from this morning from Cape Town. I am in Nelspruit tomorrow. So if you have any colleagues or people in Nelspruit that you guys want me to go say hello, not hello, but hello to, please let me know. Next week, I am in KZN. So I'm going to do the portal training. We're going to do next week, and we're going to do it. I'm going to pull in Zelda a bit. She doesn't know that as yet. You can see her lovely picture on there. And we're going to do that from the coast. That's going to be awesome. I do say so myself. And then the week thereafter, oh, I'm wrong. I'm totally wrong. I'm in Cape Town first and then KZN. You see, I'm jet setting so much, I don't even know. So let's all hope I arrive at the right places at the right time. Doesn't matter where we go, we'll have fun. But that's enough talked about nonsense. Let's start with the serious stuff. And people always say to me, Elize, we are busy with with evictions and stuff. Why are you so friendly? And I say, it's because, it's not a nice job. But the most amazing part is the fact that we are looking after our clients. And, we can help them and share them. I just want to see quickly, I lost all my participants. I can't see any of you. And then I feel lost. It's absolutely terrible. So you guys can see my screen. And of course, I'm going to take the awesome opportunity, especially this morning. The person that works with most of the attorneys is Johan. Johan is the one that talks with them and that always runs all of our evictions for me. He's an absolutely awesome right-hand man. And I'm thinking one of these days, he's going to be the favorite, no longer myself. So that's why I'm giving out gifts, because he's awesome. So Johan, I'm going to quickly stop sharing because I can't see anyone. And that is very, very irritating for me. So let me go back there. Johan, can we see your face? Say hello to the people. And there's the man of the hour. He's got his hand up. There's the man of the hour. Tanya's also part of the team. Tanya's there, part of the bridge. She jumps in. She helps a lot. We've got Zia and Zelda online. They with the applications, which is always very helpful. They're there to guide you from the beginning. We are bringing out a new link, which we will be sharing, and we'll definitely share that next week, that you can actually forward to your clients if they want to sign up themselves. And we will know exactly it comes from you. So that's the amazing part. So we're definitely going to have a look at that. Then the next thing is, so that's our amazing team. Now I'm going to go back to the panel. Now, I want to see if I share it this way, if I can still see you guys. Yes, different sharing, it still works. I love it. And that's how we learn. That's why we're in this business, need to keep on learning. So we are here this morning. We're going to talk to our panel attorneys this morning. The people that don't know me, my name is Elize, and there's that lovely picture of my lovely lipstick. I really need to get that lipstick again. So I'm a co-founder of Expel and the managing director. Attorney, I argued evictions myself in the High Court and the Magistrates Court, and I grown so much by working with different attorneys in the past 3 years, and working more with agents and knowing the balance. I think that is one of the biggest gifts we can offer our clients. And of course, I'm very luckily married, and I've got 2 lovely daughters, which I love to bits. So that's me in a nutshell. But the man of the hour today is Francois Malan. So Francois, welcome. Let's get the man to join us.
Thank you, Elize. Hello, everyone. I'm very excited to meet everyone.
Thank you, Francois.
And, you succeed in making us sound awesome.
Well, I have to say, firstly, I think the photo came out very well. As you can see, it is the same person. Van Malan Hitge Norkia Incorporated. So I'm super excited to have Francois online with us. You know, firstly, I don't think any of us has been dealing a lot with Rustenburg. Even Pretoria sometimes feels like a different country. I sometimes say KwaZulu-Natal is a different country, but Pretoria, I mean, the Yuksky divides us. From Joburg to Pretoria, but it's like a time warp. It's totally different, and that's amazing. So to give you guys a bit of a proper introduction before I hand over to Francois, I see this is how the professionals does it. So Francois studied at the University of Pretoria, and he was admitted, and he worked all the way in Pretoria. He's a Pretoria guy. Are you Blue Bull supporter, Francois?
Of course.
Okay,
you can see the star in my photo.
And his firm has been active since 2012. Francois, tell us a bit about yourself and your firm before I take over the rest.
Okay, I've been admitted as an attorney in 2008. I started Malan and Hitge with a partner, Teresa Hitge, in 2012. And we got another director, Ruan Norkia, in 2020. He's actually manning the branch in Rustenburg. So we changed it to Malan Hitge Norkia, and we offer a broad range of services, including obviously rental and property law.
Okay, fantastic. So yeah, it does help to have close partners, and each one mans a a branch. So I'm quite sure that you guys find each other every now and again and say, you won't believe what's happening in my courts.
Well, we do that almost every day. So yeah, Rustenburg is totally another different country.
And Francois, in your mind, does it help to have an attorney that goes to the same courts on a regular basis, that you sort of build that relationship with your presiding officers?
It does. You almost build a personal relationship with them, and you get to know how they operate in court and what requirements they need from you to have a matter successfully finalized.
So what you are saying, what I'm definitely picking up is, the act says you have to draft your affidavit like this. And this is one thing that I've learned. And you can put it in, but it doesn't mean that that presiding officer is going to be happy. Each
No.
person's got their own tricks and things. In Pretoria, what is the things that you've picked up that you think that, listen, this is unique and Pretoria magistrates really like to have this?
Well, what we've picked up, if I can give you an example, in Rustenburg Court, the magistrates are more laid back regarding the supporting documents. So they don't necessarily require original signed annexures, for instance, like a lease agreement, where in Pretoria it's totally different. That's the first thing they look at, is your original signed lease agreement. So yeah, it depends on where you operate from.
And I mean, that's a good point, because if you're now used to, an attorney, you're used to doing things in a certain way, and you assume it's going to work everywhere. And now suddenly you get to the court and now they're not happy with that, and that causes a delay, correct?
Indeed, it just delays the process, and at the end of the day, the tenant or the owner is being prejudiced by that.
And Francois, what is the most unique case that you had with rentals or an eviction? Because every one of us have that one matter that sort of gets stuck in your mind, or you think, yes, this was a weird tenant. What matter jumps to your mind?
Well, we have a matter in Pretoria Magistrates Court where the tenant is an elderly gentleman. He's in his early 60s. And we brought a Section 32 application for rental.
I'm going to stop you there quickly. Just quickly tell everybody, what is a Section 32?
A Section 32 application is where you proceed to obtain an order to attach the property of the tenant to secure your rental or your arrear rental. Okay. So that's in a nutshell what a Section 32 is.
Okay.
So the gentleman has been making promises to pay, and he was having this whole spreadsheet or PowerPoint presentation regarding Bitcoin and Forex opportunities that's going to pay out. So he's been dragging this whole process for almost a year, which is very excessive for a Section 32 application. And well, the magistrate actually, and that was yesterday, gave us our order.
Finally.
So that was quite a interesting case, because of a person saying he's too poor to pay and he doesn't have an income, but he's got this promises of Forex and Bitcoin coming along. Yeah, and the magistrate saw right through him and she gave us our order.
Oh, that's fantastic, especially after such a long time. Now,
yes. The thing is with the magistrates were very cautious to grant eviction orders in the past 2 years due to the state of disaster. So hopefully we will return to normal now after last night.
That's exciting news now that you mentioned that, Nay. I don't want to look like the person that doesn't listen to the news, but I did catch that. I understand the state of disaster was lifted.
It was lifted last night, and we can maybe proceed with evictions as before 2020.
Fantastic. So you are very excited about this.
I am. Now we can push our evictions and get successful results.
Pretoria, especially Pretoria, the magistrates there are very cautious to grant evictions. It feels to me in Joburg, I don't want to say they're a bit more heartless, but the people in Pretoria, they are very cautious, huh?
They're very cautious, but Rustenburg were more cautious. Although they're more laid back regarding your documentation, they were not very inclined to grant eviction orders, but I've got word that they will now give us our orders as we apply.
And was the reason because of the COVID? The magistrates felt more that they have to help the tenants.
Indeed, yes.
That's concerning. I remembered I had a matter in Pretoria Magistrate Court. I had only one in Rustenburg, but the one day they didn't grant the eviction in Pretoria because it was in the middle of winter. And the magistrate said she's not going to evict people with kids in winter because it's cold. I almost died. I mean, those people stayed for an extra 2 months. But I mean, people forget the element. And I want to say I'm sharing the screen, and I think it's very ironic. I've got that lady that's blindfolded with the scales. And people think justice is fair, but it's not really. It's what you can prove and how that person feels, the presiding officer feels on that day.
Indeed, and Elize, we need to keep in mind, we're working with people here. We're working with real people and real problems. And what I wanted to also say is that it's a team effort. Where we had problems with eviction orders during the past 2 years, we felt that we had to take hands with our agents or our owners to try and mediate the problem. And that helped a lot.
That is a very wise thing that you're saying, Francois. The fact that people always want to jump and litigate, or they leave it until they go to attorney and then only litigate. But the biggest value that you can have is that mediation part. So especially if the clients, if it's an expeller client already on our books, I mean, we jump in and we try to mediate. I mean, Johannes having a 98% success rate of getting people to move out or pay up. But there's a lot of people coming to us that's not on our books. And that is, go to your attorneys, because they're still going to win if you guys can get them out on a settlement before even starting with the litigation. What is your court rolls like?
Well, the court rolls in Pretoria is, I think at the moment, we have a waiting period of approximately 3 to 4 months.
Is it just me? Where's my reaction thingy? Come on, guys. Everybody that's on here, I have to have an emoji there that goes, what? That's ridiculous, ne? I can't even find my emojis.
Luckily, then you have enough time to ensure that all your papers are in order, and then you can just proceed and hopefully be successful.
Yeah, but the implication is for 3 to 4 months, we can jump as fast as we can. We can jump through all the hoops, and then there's dead time. It's terrible.
Yeah. Then at the end of the day, the magistrate has additional requirements as well. So I think that's very frustrating for clients.
Yeah. What is your standard time? So in the past, when evictions just started, I remembered I was actually one of the few people that stood up in the High Court and said, I want an eviction order to be granted immediately. I know many of the advocates laughed at me, but funny enough, I got it because nobody thinks of it. But that has changed tremendously. It's very, I don't see it these days that people actually grant an order saying they have to vacate immediately. What is the standard time?
Well, at this stage, we are looking at 5 to 6 months.
To move out?
Well, for the whole process to be finalized.
Yeah. So
in Rustenburg, it's much shorter. Obviously, you get the court dates quicker, and you can push through much easier and earlier.
Okay, because that court rolls aren't that congested.
Indeed, yes.
Okay. Again, so people have to remember, if you speak to your attorney, whoever assists you, make sure that they are applicable in the courts that where you are at. Because Francois can now tell us, and I mean, Francois, you guys have got an office in Cape Town, and I'm quite sure that is even a different mix. So from 3 different courts, different experiences, different time periods.
Indeed. Our Cape Town office is up and coming, so it's not that busy at this stage, but we work with different courts in the Cape Town metropolitan area. a larger area with more courts than in Pretoria or Rustenburg. So yeah, that's quite a challenge.
Okay, and of course I have to ask you, which courts do you prefer? Which High Court service the Rustenburg area?
That's my king. Unfortunately, there's a lot of speculation and requests to have the High Court move to Rustenburg. But yeah, unfortunately, since before 2014 or 2016, all Rustenburg matters has been dealt with in Pretoria.
Okay, so my king is so far, nobody knows where it is. Sorry, just me. I will Google it. Is that court roll very full? Is it not then going to be quicker to do the matters that falls in the Rustenburg area through that High Court?
Well, the court roll in my king is not that full. You also, it's not like Pretoria. So you also get a quicker court date. Okay, it's not very congested.
Okay, so if you want to buy a property, go buy a property in my king because it's quick to evict people there. Okay.
Yeah, if you foresee problems.
Okay, foresee problems. Okay, but don't foresee, but keep that in mind. Francois, we talked about the matter that you referred to. And you said the reason why you didn't proceed with the eviction is because of the magistrates in that area weren't inclined to offer evictions.
Yes.
What is your overall feeling? Most of the people that come to you, are they pushing for evictions or are they asking or focusing on collecting the money?
Most of them are pushing for evictions because they can get another paying tenant into the property. So it's quite a balance between the two, between rental, arrear rental, and the eviction. So they need to decide whether they want to pursue the rental simultaneously with the eviction, but that's where the mediation comes in as well. Because then you can have a meeting with the tenant, and the tenant is sometimes very inclined to move out earlier. Okay. Instead of paying the arrear rental.
Mm. And it does have an impact once the attorneys really get involved.
Yes, it does. Once again, yesterday's example, after the magistrate granted the order, the tenant came to me and he said, listen, let's make a proposal to my client. I would like to move out. I'm willing to sign an acknowledgement of debt for the arrear rental. And I understand your client can get a paying tenant into the property. But that was only done after the order was granted in our favor. So I think it makes a difference if an attorney is involved.
And tell me, Francois, with most of your matters, for the eviction matters, are many of them represented by attorneys or do they represent themselves?
A lot of them represent themselves. I think they are already in dire financial difficulties due to they can't pay their rent. So they don't have the means to pay for legal representation, and a lot of them are not inclined to approach the legal aid court for assistance. And
this is just my feeling. I would like to hear your opinion. The moment somebody represents themselves, it delays the process and makes it more difficult to finalize.
Indeed. As I've said, this once again, yesterday's matter has been dragging on for more than a year. He represented himself. And I find it much easier to have a round table with another attorney and discuss the matter, and the attorney can advise the tenant accordingly.
I think we have to create a skeleton attorney's firm that represent underrepresented tenants.
That's an excellent idea. That can be another leg of Expello.
I usually tenants think they scare me if they go like, I'm going to speak to my attorney. I go, please help us and get us an attorney. Yeah, you're doing me a favor. That's not a threat. That's like a cake for me. That's perfect.
Yeah. So I totally agree with you, Elize.
And how many of your matters, are they really being opposed? In Johannesburg, I see a lot of people, they're filing their notice of intention to oppose, but they don't really file any affidavit or anything. It's just delaying the process. What is your feeling in Rustenburg and Pretoria?
Most of them is not opposed. Where it's opposed, they do not file papers when they represent themselves. They only pitch at court, or they pitch on the return date after the sheriff has taken inventory in matters like a Section 32 application. So, yeah, a lot of them are unopposed where they don't pitch at court or file papers.
So the matter is unopposed, and then the person pitches up at court on that day. What is your first approach?
Well, the first approach is to sit with the tenant beforehand and hear the story and see whether there's any settlement that can be reached. But that's based on each and every case on its own.
Okay, now I have to ask this. So why do you want to settle it before you go into court?
Well, to cut out any further delays and court appearances.
I love that. So I just want to say to everybody online, that is one of the strongest things that I've always seen. You know, many people see it as if an attorney approach the tenant or something to try and settle it as a weakness. They think, yeah, they're trying to do buddy, or they don't want to do their work, just go into court and go fight it. But if you take that approach, I've seen more than once. If they went outside, they settled it, and go into court and say, listen, we agreed, this is the date you get your order. If you go in there and that guy starts talking, he thinks the matter can get postponed. No? That's correct.
Definitely. And obviously you incur more costs for your own client, and your client is not going to come back to you.
Yeah. So it's in everybody's benefit to definitely go and see if you can settle the matter beforehand. One of the things I say to my clients, listen, for example, we're in the middle of a month, and now we agree with the tenants that they must move out because they're opposing. I mean, you know, these people are fighting. They're going to go in there and ask for a postponement. I don't know, for any other reason, you know, they just need a bit of a reason. And I could get them to agree to a date, not the end of this month, but so, for example, we're in the middle of March. When we agree that vacate the end of April, we can make that a court order. That's still going to be a win. Yes, yeah. I want them out on the 15th of March. I would want them out on the 30th of March, but the end of April is still a win, because if we postpone it for 3 weeks, then on that day, they're most probably going to get a month to vacate. Ne, Francois?
Well, yeah, it's if you get 3 weeks, if you postpone, it most probably be within a month or two only. So it's still a win if you can settle and get your order.
Get your order. And just for curiosity, because I really don't know this answer, and usually what they taught me is never ask a question that you don't know the answer to. But how many people, if you do the evictions, that you have to actually send the sheriff to go throw them out?
If we need to talk on a percentage basis, I would say 40%.
40%?
Yes.
Okay, and are these 40%?
Usually when you get an order, people in layman's terms back off and rather make arrangements to move out, because it also depends what you tell them. I tell them, listen, I've got a court order, I'm going to send the sheriff. Everyone is going to see your property, your assets, your belongings being thrown out. It's not a very nice situation, and then they agree and they make arrangements.
I usually tell them I'm going to send the sheriff without bubble wrap. No bubble wrap or newspapers. And yeah. I also want to say there's, of course, a difference between where you get eviction orders in terms of a rental lease agreement and people where they bought the property in auction and those type of things, you know, or hijacked units. Those are the ones that you usually need the sheriff for, hey?
Yes, yes. especially the where the property is being hijacked.
Yeah.
We've had a few of those.
Okay,
And that's very costly.
Very costly. And the thing is, most times what I've seen is sometimes the eviction process itself is expensive, but even to send the sheriff to throw them out is even then and that where it's auction or hijacked is more expensive, right?
It is. We've had a situation or a matter in Vereniging where we obtained we had an urgent application for eviction. It was hijacking of the client's property, and the sheriff requested 35,000 rand to do that. So, yeah, it's getting very costly.
Yeah, so a word of advice is try not your property to get hijacked, or don't think it's a special. If somebody sells a hijacked property for 20,000 rand or even for 100 rand, don't buy it. There's a reason why they're selling it for nothing. Is there anyone on the group that wants to ask anyone wants to ask Francois any questions? You guys are welcome to drop it in the chat or unmute yourself and ask the question, or you can send it anonymously. I was practicing that word. Luckily, I had 2 cups of coffees. If you guys have any questions for Francois. But now the good news is, if I go to the next slide, this is the time where you take out your pen and paper or copy and paste. Francois, that contact details, that's correct, huh?
That is correct. But we can also add my cell phone number if you would like.
If you say it, I'll drop it in the chat.
Okay. I just need to figure out how this chat works.
If good news is you can talk, I will type.
Okay, so my cell phone number is 079.
Oh, wait. 079, yes.
504.
But 574.
No, 504.
Yes.
1411.
Okay, and I dropped it there in the chat.
Perfect.
079 504 1411.
If I don't answer, just send me a message or a WhatsApp and I'll reply to that.
Okay, and people, please, I put this disclaimer being an attorney myself. Please don't send him messages at a Friday evening, except if you are busy dying or the police is busy arresting you, that there's a severe urgency. But please don't contact the attorneys after hours to ask him what to do if a tenant didn't make payment, because I'm quite sure you knew that already during the day. So
after hours and weekends, Elize, if there's blood on the wall, just say blood on the wall, I'll reply.
You see, urgency, that's why I say, I think that is always something that is super important. So I just want to check, Francois, before we go over to our prize that we're handing out, I want to say, is there any last words of wisdom or advice or advertising you want to do? This is your 5 minutes to shine.
Okay, you're putting me on the spot now. I would like to reiterate the importance of working closely with the balance, like you said earlier, between the agent and the attorney. We spoke earlier and you said that a lot of the agents is not very, in Afrikaans we say, gerad for litigation. And you need to keep that balance and take hands and work together as a team. It's not a one-man show. So yeah, that's my word of wisdom.
And I just want to add there, I think it's very clever. I know there's people, there's a big importance to know you have your conveyancing attorneys and they're fantastic with their conveyancing. But they not per se know how to do an eviction. So go for a litigation attorney, even if they quickly help you out with a letter. I have had one of those in the incidents in this week where they said, Elize, a conveyancing attorney helped me with a letter quickly. And I read that letter. And the problem was, I can't go back and say, this attorney messed up. They gave them extra time because the thing is, it's been done. So, and that attorney did what he thought is right. So that is why it's important to have somebody that knows about litigation and knows, I mean, it seems that you still go to court yourself.
Yes, I do.
Do you like it?
Of course.
You see.
The adrenaline is pumping, so yes.
You have your Batman robe on and you go defend the world. But that's what you need. So please, people, consider your litigation and ask those questions of your attorneys. Ask them, listen, do you do litigation? You're not going to take the conveyancing away from them. I mean, I'm not going to go to a dietitian to look at my heart, okay? Because he's not going to help my heart at all. I'm not going to go to the dentist if I want glasses. They're both doctors, but they're not the right doctors. Same with attorneys. People have, and I think people have been too long that you deal with GPs, that, you know, the people that does everything. I've tried to do conveyancing and I have the world of respect for conveyances. Please hear me. I fell asleep every time I started studying. I can't understand. You have to learn how to draft those documents. You've got an app for it. But so please, Francois, and then of course, I'm going to do a bit of advert for you as well. Something that this firm is actually giving everybody else that's very specialized, that's not on anyone else, I think, on our panel, is medical negligence, which is a very unique thing. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is, you know, sometimes you have a client that's got an issue and you don't know where, and they're going to ask you, where can you refer them? So please go look at our website. It's a very unique thing. Medical negligence. Did you want to become a doctor, Francois? Or was it just interesting?
I wanted to, but unfortunately, like all lawyers, I'm not very good with maths. So,
well, you saw me struggling with the numbers. Okay. So, thank you very much, Francois, for your time. So, I'm gonna this morning's prize. Usually, before I do, I just want to say properly, Francois, thank you very, very much to you and your firms. We're looking forward to have you on our panel and for the way forward.
Thank you very much, Elize, and thank you everyone that's been listening. And yeah, please contact me if you have any questions. I'm here to listen and advise.
Thank you, Francois. So now our prize giving this morning. So we pick a prize for somebody that we can give, and I want to, usually I've got Palesa that does this very big presentation, but shame, she's sick. So I had to do it myself. So there's no drum rolls or anything this morning, but I'm going to do the check this morning on the quickest of the draw. That's going to be my prize giving. So Kerry, I'm not going to say because you're my favorite, you are getting the prize, but at 5 to 9, you gave us good morning. So you are our prize winner this morning. So congratulations, Kerry. We will arrange for your prize to be delivered to you and that you can enjoy it. And thank you very much for attending. Guys, we're having a link again. Share it with everyone. It's on Facebook. It's there for training purposes. I'm not going to send out the link. It's going to be on Facebook. If you're not on Facebook yet, please go like us. We've got a YouTube channel. Woohoo! So please go look at our YouTube channel. Go subscribe. All of these Zoom things and all of the things that I'm going to start doing, I'm going to start recording. I feel I'm getting it to do it much better every time we do this. So I want to say thank you to each and everyone that attended this morning. As you guys know, I know I book out 9 to 10. Sometimes we go longer, sometimes we go shorter, but the purpose is just to convey the information. So thank you everyone for your time. I really appreciate it. Have an awesome week and go big. Thank you.
Thank you, Elize.